And my name is Caesar. And like always, our program is aimed at inspiring, informing, and getting young people involved in both common and national issues. Because, like I always say, the hopes and future of every nation is rested mostly on the activities of its youth and youthful demography. Like the saying goes, that the way you lay your bed, that's how you're going to lie on it. Today we're going to be looking at preparedness and opportunities of young people for the challenges of the 21st century. And to help me discuss these very wonderful issues, because right now on so many, the awareness is so high, and there's a very high clamor for young people to take over the helms of leadership in both political, social, and even in economic organization, banking. We already see young people doing well in religious sectors. So we want to critically look at young people, their preparedness for the challenges of the moment, and also looking at the future, and also the opportunities that are bound for young people. And to help me discuss this very wonderful topic is a very young personality. He's an author, a writer, and a content developer. He's a media personality. He goes by the name Mr. Obiagba Geshom. Mr. Obiagba Geshom, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to you today. Mr. Obiagba Geshom is the author of The Hyphen. The Hyphen, a very wonderful book, an inspirational one, and a motivational one. It's a call to duty to young people. So quickly, can you just tell us? Let's have a sneak peek into the book before we go to the discussion.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. The Hyphen is a book that I was inspired to write. It talks about, as the name implies, the hyphen is just that symbol in between the dates of birth and the dates a person dies. It's something you see on a lot of posters.
Obituary posters.
Obituary posters and gravestones of people. So basically the hyphen talks about all you are in between dust, let me call it in between dust, because from dust you came, to dust you shall return.
Okay.
So, and the need for you to be resourceful, the need for you to be useful. The only time you actually have a say, because life is a continuum. So, but the only time you actually have a say is from when you were born to when you die. That's when God leaves a lot of potentials in you, a lot of capacity and ability, and it's expected that you use it positively while you are still alive.
The choices we make,
yes,
the
exactly.
regrets, the pain,
the pains, and everything lies in between that hyphen.
Wow.
And like you hear God say, He's the beginning, He is the end. So what actually inspired me was like, okay, if He's the beginning, He's the end, who is the middle, who is in between? And I'll discover that you and I, we are the in between, we are the hyphen, which means that we have the capacity to just make our mark now. We can't make it when we are gone.
Wow. So let's go straight into the topic. It's also coming from your book. Now, we are going to look at the opportunities that are bound for young people today. Yeah. Because a lot of us tend to see the challenges. The government is not doing well. The government, because this is everyone wants to blame the government. Yeah. So first and foremost, let's look at what are the opportunities that are bound to young people.
Basically, I feel we have the technological advantage of the 21st century. Like it was McLuhan that said in the 50s that the world is a global village. And as at that time, the world wasn't even a global village as it is today. Now, today I can just stay here and interact with somebody that is in Switzerland. I could talk with somebody that is in Delta and all of that. And I feel this technology-driven age is actually is supposed to be driven by the youths, because we are the ones that are supposed to actually understand the intricacies that are bound with
the technology
of the 21st century. So I feel the internet has given the young people a lot to explore, and that is why you see people like Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs of blessed memory and all of that, who made their mark in a very, very short time.
Okay, the 21st century and the IT technology coming, and so how do we match it? Because most of those claims climbs now,
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg, their society prepared them for it. Do you think our educational system is preparing young people for this IT technology?
I feel the educational system, the education sector is doing its best, not too well enough, in the sense that when it comes to how crammed up our classrooms are and all of that, I feel learning is not too conducive. If you want a very conducive lecture, you have to pay a whole lot for it. So I feel beyond having a system, an education system that supports you, I feel you should try and support yourself. Because with the internet, for instance, you can learn everything. You can learn how to read, you can learn how to write, you can learn how to sew, you can learn everything that you want to learn. So basically, I think it gives you an opportunity to be your mentor, to be your teacher,
to improve yourself, as a young person. Yeah. So but bringing it home now, a topic I always like to discuss on my show. Now, when you will have all these expertise as a young person, and there is no platform to execute in Nigeria, because most of our employers tend to look for certificates over competence, over the know-how.
Yeah, I get. It could be an issue, and that's why it's also very, very important, because if you really have a dream, if you have a goal, you have to work around it. You have to make yourself fit in. You have to be prepared so that when opportunity comes, it doesn't pass you by. Yeah, man, some people call it in the pidgin parlance certificate, that we should look at what the person knows how to do. But I feel in knowing what to do, you are supposed to have a certification also. It's also very, very important. Number one, not even just for the now, but for continuity. Because there are exceptional cases of people that are very good on the job and they don't have the certificate. But at the end of the day, how do you mentor the next generation coming? So I feel everything should have a pattern and a structure. So I feel it's very important that you have the certificate and you also have the technical know-how.
Yeah, because most certificates, a lot of people think that certificates
is not a true test.
It's not a true test of knowledge or of stability. Let's use the word stability in the local parlance now. But do you think there, in the whole scheme of things, in the structure, that we should look at, we should pay more attention to ability over certification?
Okay. Like somebody, let me take it from what you said. Like they say, education is not a true test of knowledge and all of that. Somebody wants to say something that neither is being done a true test of knowledge either. So it's always good that test of knowledge, you pass it and you succeed in it to even start with. Because at the end of the day, there are just a lot of issues that come and we are not gods. We are not God. We are human. So I wouldn't know what you have the capacity of.
No, but in some cases you might see it. You might see this person doing well by recommendation. For instance, this furniture thing, carpentry. A lot. I can, like you said, go online and learn these things.
Yes.
I can go online and learn it and just build it, and you see my work.
Yes.
But you want to employ somebody that has a certificate, that has gone to one school and has a certificate. So in that case, what do you do? Because this person might just be certificate.
Yes, I understand that, but the issue is that, like I said earlier, is for continuity. Yes, if this person can do it, like if I was the employer, I would still take you, but you cannot head the unit, for instance. You cannot head the unit. I'm still going to need somebody that is strong enough, somebody that has the administrative knowledge. It's just like I give people examples. Like if you see somebody like, let me say, Bishop Oyedepo today, I don't think he's the most fantastic preacher in Nigeria, but you discover that he has been able to add administration. He has been able to add administration. So at the end of the day, the employer wants a business that will grow. So it's not just in knowing how to be a presenter, for instance, that is going to make an organization grow. It has a lot that's education we give to it. Yeah, you might have the raw talent, the skills, and all of that, but you need beyond that to be able to make a mark and make a difference.
But in other times, there's a high level of envy. I like to use that word because I've always been saying it.
Yeah.
The idea of I know somebody in our recruitment system. The idea of I know somebody. Don't you think is going to make most of our youths not eager to go the extra mile?
Yes, it's a problem. It's a foundational problem in Nigeria that has been there over the ages. But like I tell the youth whenever I come across them, that always be hopeful. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Somebody once said something that do not give up until you make your last attempt, and don't make your last attempt until you succeed. So despite the fact that it's not working today, you keep pushing, and more so we have the internet at our disposal, with which I feel you can keep selling yourself, selling your product, making the world know what you can offer and all of that. Today, organization A might not take you because you didn't come recommended, but you don't give up, you don't drop the tempo, you keep fighting, you keep pushing, you keep studying, you keep getting more certifications. And like I tell people also, while looking for that recommended job or that juicy job, take up a volunteer job somewhere. Volunteer, be a part of a system, be a part of a network, and before you know, if it comes by recommendation, somebody might recommend you tomorrow also.
But there is so much hunger in the land, and youths are in haste. They want to make it fast.
Yes, you can't be in haste, because like somebody will also say that the shortcut might just be the point that cuts you short. So at the end of the day, just patience is vital. Patience is key. We are young people, we are youths. You might not have everything today. I feel that's another problem the youths of our generation are having, in the sense that they want everything now. You get a job this year, you want to drive a car this year, you want to build a house this year.
Because the next person that you are seeing that does not even have what he's doing is already driving a car.
That is, yes, it is so, but the issue is that I feel you should look beyond all of that. You should have confidence in yourself that, okay, I don't have a car driving today, tomorrow I'm going to have a car that I'm going to drive.
You push towards it.
You just push towards it. You keep working. Like I remember in the days of our parents, they got into the civil service. Some of them didn't buy their first car until they were like 20 years in civil service. And they were happy, they were content. Because the issues are this striving and driving and all of that is what makes us wake up most times every morning and you are feeling depressed. And the social media has not also helped. You see people, maybe you go on Facebook, you see your friends and you're like, this one has arrived, this one has me. And at times, they just stand close to a car probably and they snap. And you are here killing yourself with depression, thinking that you are the only one lagging behind. So I feel you should study enough and be sure of yourself that if it's not working today, it's going to work tomorrow.
Okay, talking about patience, because I want to pick the word patience.
Okay.
Do you think, let's bring it home now to governance, because young people, we are not just contending with ourselves, we are contending with, it's a global village like you said. So we're also looking at what young people are doing in other countries, what they are doing. So do you think young people still need to be patient with this system, with our government? So we're pushing it into government now.
Yeah, with government, I feel patience now in government might be relative. We have to be patient with them because, for instance, they are still there right now. I feel what we should be working on is how to take over.
Good. That was where I was going to. I wanted you to just. Do you think young people now should gear up and take over?
Yes, like yesterday, I feel we are already long behind the schedule or behind the scheme of things. I think by now we are supposed to already start making waves. We are supposed to start taking over the mantle of leadership in this country, because things are really not working as is expected. We see a lot of laziness from government. We see a lot of having this feeling that government is not doing well enough for the masses. So I just feel the time to take over is now, and I thank God that 2019 is just by the corner.
So do you think young people are prepared enough for takeover?
Yes, I think if it's prepared, I think they are prepared. Almost I don't think government in Nigeria is a very, very difficult or a daunting task to actualize or to achieve. I've seen a lot of incompetence in government that I know that there are probably over 2-3 million youths that will have done better. So when it comes to being prepared, I think they are prepared. I feel the only problem they have is having a platform. I feel they really don't have a platform right now, but I feel the first platform that anybody should explore is the social media. The social media is relatively free. It's relatively free and it has a very wide reach. It has a wide
Do you think that other young people share this idea that young people are prepared and ready enough? Because we see a lot of criticism. You see young people, social media, slaying and popping champagne and things. That seems to be all what we do. And Big Brother, you know. So, do you think other young people share this idea that young people are ready to take over?
Yes, probably. It's just that Nigeria, let me say the young people, they've divided themselves into two classes. We have like the entertainment class, we have the politically inclined class.
And so, I think they are lesser, politically inclined.
Yes, they are a bit lesser, but I just feel what we need now is to draw a point of convergence, bringing these entertainers, for instance, and the political class, and probably putting our resources together to try and take over for the interest of today and our future.
Okay, so taking over. How? What is your strategy for young people? What do you think? Because the older class of politicians, I talk about this a lot on this program. The older class of our politicians are not going to just give you the power like that. How do we, young people, take over?
It requires a strategy that works. And I feel our first strategy, to me, I feel is the social media, like I said before now. Because the truth is, the older class, they've been able to, over time, block almost every, and that's why I'm greatly in support of the Not Too Young to Run bill and all of that. Because I just feel the older people from the 80s, they started politics, they started looking for how to make it their property. So it's something that probably we might not even succeed at it now, but let the consciousness, let the awakening continue now, because the truth is, when you look at our constitution, you know that these people have been working at remaining in power for a very long time. They tell you, for instance, that you can't be a president unless you are 40. For instance, you can't be a president unless you are 40. You cannot do partisan politics when you are in civil service, for instance. So they are just trying to make it now. At what age will you want to be in civil service? In your mid-20s and thereabout. So they are now telling you that you can't be in politics from your 20s to your 30s to your 40s. So automatically they are trying to remain there. They are not really making the constitution flexible and accommodative for the youths to take over.
Wow. So when sorry to cut you. So when we come back, we're going to take a very short break. Okay. When we come back, we're going to look at practical solutions. Practical solutions. Book, paper to biro, mouth to mouth, me to you. It is used today and still coming Caesar. Please join us after the break.
Coronavirus is a danger disease. A danger disease. We can fight it and win. Coronavirus is a danger disease. A danger disease. We can fight it and win. Wash your hands every time. Don't ever shake hands. Stay away from mammals. They can cause infection. Stop again. We can chase it away. Oh, we can make it. Yeah, we can chase it away. Oh, we can make it. Yeah, we can chase it away. Coronavirus is a danger disease. A danger disease. We can fight it and win. Coronavirus is a danger disease. A danger disease. We can fight it and win. Don't be scared. We got this in our hands. God is on our side. fight it and win. Coronavirus is a danger disease, a danger disease. We can fight it and win. Coronavirus is a danger disease, a danger disease. We can fight it and win. Oh, we can make it. Yeah, we can chase it away. Oh, we can make it. Yeah, we can chase it away. Machaga, Kidich, Africa.
Wash your hands, be down, and I take the whistle. Don't touch your face. Don't go to the doctor, just call, and I take the whistle.
Corona, que se siga, por mi corona.
Don't panic, we've got this.
Welcome back. As youths, it's not just about age. It's about being smarter and something new, bringing something new, innovations, creativity, energy. What are those youthful things, those youthful innovations that we should bring into the polity that is going to change things and bring the youth on board? What do you think?
Okay, I feel it's basically about our realization. That's what I think, as in beyond probably saying let's maybe organize sports and unite and all of that. I feel it should come from a realization. There's a realization I feel the youths of the 21st century has not really tapped into, in the sense that anybody that is popular in Nigeria today, we make them popular. So we can choose to decide to make a fellow youth popular in politics. As in, we have always narrowed down to think that it has to be PDP or APC. And I feel anybody that is popular is in our hands. As in, we could give them the platform to become popular. Like, take for example, who made Ife popular at the end of the day? I tell people it's not Big Brother, it's not anybody, it is you and I. Those that watched it, those that celebrated him. The same way we can just see potential in another youth. I've seen a couple of them coming out. And most of the time, people say they don't have the chance. Like, I've seen somebody like Fela Durotoye coming out for presidency. I've heard of one Garba Shehu also coming out too. They've been doing a little bit of campaign and the rest. But from the sidelines, at times we hear people say they don't have the know-how. Not even the know-how, that they don't have the chance. And that they don't have the chance.
There's no space.
Yes. No, it's not even in the line of space now. It's like people just feel they can't win. But the issue is that at the end of the day, who is going to vote for the person that is going to win? It's still you and I. So it's the youth that can decide to say, this guy can win, this guy can win.
Must we have a youth in a political office for us to make a change? Do you think we must have a youth? Sorry to take you back, because it's an argument that I've had before on this program, and I always like to get clear, because I try for us to look at the plans and not the people.
Yes.
So don't you think we should focus more on plans?
Yes, but the youths are in the plan, and the plan is also in the youth, let me say, because we are the future of tomorrow. Like you said, the way you lay your bed, so you lie on it. So the youth, for instance, we are the ones laying this bed, and we are the ones that are still going to have a much longer time to lie on it. So I feel we should have we should do a self-assessment of ourselves. We should know what we can do. We should know the powers actually that we wield. And I feel we wield so much power in deciding who
And the population is on our side.
the population is on our side. Like, take for example, it beats my imagination that in a country of close to 200 million people, the president of Nigeria today came to power with 15 million votes. To me, that is an eyesore. That is not supposed to be said. 15 million from 200 million. Okay, let me assume we have children. Let's say about
And
50.
the elderly.
And the elderly. Let's say 50 million to children, 50 million to the elderly. Mean at least we have about 100 million qualified youths that could vote in a country. But where are they? At the end of the day, you discover that a president comes to power with just 15 million votes, and this president is the person that is going to decide what you eat, basically where you live, the security,
how you live it,
and all of that. So I feel the youths it's time to wake up. I feel it's time for every young person in Nigeria to wake up and decide and say,
get involved.
And get involved. And in getting involved, don't always throw some people. I think we know that, let me say, maybe we know that Caesar is fit to be there, but we just feel even if I vote for him, I'm going to be the only one voting for him. But I feel if I think you are good enough, I should give you my vote and live with my conscience that, okay, the person I voted for didn't win. But most of the time, we just feel, okay, this person is more likely to win. So at the end, we now contribute all our votes and give to the person. And at the end, we continue the same circle of suffering.
But we should have a structure as young people. We should have a strategy.
A strategy.
Especially now. Thank God for the Fela Durotoye and the rest of them. Because I've also heard some youth say Fela Durotoye is a motivational speaker. He should be motivating people and leave the work for the politicians. I think it's about time we change that.
Yes, I've heard that too. But the issue is that if you're a motivational speaker, for instance, you are speaking from what you know. You are speaking from experience. You are speaking from lessons learned. And I feel information is powerful. Knowledge is basic also. Somebody say knowledge. The word knowledge is know and edge, which means what you know that gives you an edge. So if he's a motivational speaker, I feel he has known a lot. He has read a lot. He has learned a lot. It's not like I'm endorsing him.
But we're not dwelling on one. Let's say I just want to talk about Fela. Sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
But he has not actually held any political position.
Yes.
Do you think Nigeria, plus Fela Durotoye and other young people that are coming, do you think we can actually take that risk as a country to vote for someone that has not been in the system before? Are we in that desperate position yet?
Yes, we are. Because why I prefer a young person to come and make that mistake is because he has a lot of time to still be part of it if it's not working. For instance, he's not close to his grave yet. So if he messes it up, he's going to live there whether you like it or not. And he's still going to come back.
Even have longer time to
he's still going to be in the society to still suffer from what he has done also. So I feel it's better for the younger people that know that they still have a future in Nigeria to go and make the mistakes than the old people making the mistakes when we well know that they are close to their graves already.
So young people should start making plans, especially those that are going to be contesting.
Yes.
Because I am of the opinion, it's not about my opinion now, but don't you think we should look for a way as young people to shift this politics from jamboree to the real issue? Let's discuss the real issue.
Yes.
Let's have those people on their toes. No more promises or give us programs. Tell us how you're going to achieve it.
Yes, and the issue that where I feel the problem is coming from, like I said earlier on, it's like these older ones, they climbed the ladder and they were able to destroy the steps away, so people cannot climb also. So the young people, it's difficult for them to be part of policies and programs because, for instance, you are not part of the party. You can't be in partisan politics when you are a civil servant, for instance, and all of that. So at the end of the day, you just discover they've sidelined you. But for those that can, for those that are not in government jobs and all of that, I feel they should go into politics and start from probably the grassroots. Because that's another place I have problem with the younger politicians. I mean, in the sense that all the ones I'm seeing now, they all want to go for president. And I feel it's a problem. I feel they should start from somewhere. Start from State House of Assembly, start from Senate, start from local governments and all of that.
Young people clamor to get political appointments.
Exactly, yes. And I think, I know one now that has an appointment with rural electrification from he's the executive secretary there, I think. And I feel it's a good way to start also. It's not all about being in the presidency, because at times that is risky too. They might just get there and fail. And it becomes a problem. So I feel as youths, what is expected of them is just get involved at any capacity as you can right now.
Okay, it has been youth today with Mr. Gershon. Mr. Gershon, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So young people, get involved in any capacity as an opinionated person.
Yeah.
Put your opinions forward, put your ideologies forward, talk to people, let's educate one another, let's talk to each other, not just about getting your PVC, knowing the right person to vote for. We want to see plans, we want to see programs, we want to see structure, we don't want to see sentiment. Let's try to kill sentiment for the greater good.
It's been an issue over time in Nigeria, but I just feel it's time for our youth to throw sentiments away and just look at a way forward for Nigeria. And I think before now we were talking about expertise and
yes. So before we go, integrity, expertise.
Yes.
Which will you prioritize?
I think I will prioritize expertise. I think Nigeria should be run as a company, but I want the two actually. But if I must take one, I will take expertise.
It's going to be a running discussion. That will be a topic for another day. Expertise versus integrity. Which will you prioritize? It has been Youth Today on Television Nigerian, and your host has been Caesar, and we've had Gershon, is the author of The Hyphen. A very wonderful book. See you some other time.
What's the difference between kids in the US and kids in Africa? Why is Africa still the most underdeveloped continent in the world when, if you look at it seriously, we were born with the same brains, the same innate talents and abilities. We even have a more resilient spirit because of what we've seen growing up. The kids in the West are not who they are today because they're different from us. It's just the exposure that we have at a young age. We in Africa, early in life, we don't get a chance to discover who we are. When I was growing up, thinking of who are you was so foreign. What are my innate talents and abilities was so foreign. And igniting critical thinking. If we can come into the early developmental life cycle of children and stir them up and help them to start thinking, who am I? What are my innate talents and abilities? And then expose them to contextual careers and vocations that align with who they are. It makes them more capable of innovation. They are operating from a place of passion. If they are in school, they are not just in school and doing math because their parents say to do math, but it's because they know that they love math. When you give that child that freedom and you ignite their brains like that, invention comes out and creativity just flourishes. So when we say this, I want you all to mean it. Mean every single word that you're saying, okay? It says that I am unique. Okay, because every single one of you is unique. God created every single one of you unique, special, with a unique gift that only you can do better than everybody else in the world. Say, I'm special. I'm special. I'm one of a kind. Right? I was born with an innate talent. I was born with an innate gift. Something valuable my community needs. I have in me what it takes to help transform my continent. I am proud to be Nigerian. I didn't hear you guys though. I am proud to be African. I love my culture. Do you guys love your culture?
We're trying to steer their minds to what can you do? Yes, you can be a teacher if you want to be. You can be a doctor. The regular jobs we have out there. It's about telling them, think outside the box at this young age. Let us know what you are good at, what you are good for, and then use it. Basically, the main thing is to stay their mind. We want their brains to be active. At this age, all they want to do is play, play, play. And just maybe a few ones already know what they want to do, but want to know that, okay, it's not just your friends that should know what they want to do. You should know what you want to do. So we want to get more kids thinking at earlier age right now. That's what this is about.
Can you describe yourself so that we understand who you are? We have repairing electrical appliances. Okay, that's what describes him best. He's a happy person. He forgives, and he's handy. He likes repairing electrical appliances. That's lovely. He said, I am kind. Destiny is kind, and destiny is bold, and destiny is unique. Clap for destiny. He said he is unique because he can change anything. Did you hear that? That's very, very affirmative. He can change anything. He believes he can change anything. And I asked him, what do you want to change? Do you know what he said? He wants to change Nigeria. I think we need people like him to change Nigeria, to discover their talent, being unique and want to change Nigeria. I love that about him.
Nigerian students, of course the upcoming ones, can use this kind of training programs to have a vocation. I mean, train themselves aside the four walls of any institution that they find themselves. Everybody does not have to have a white-collar job. With this, you can also enrich yourself.
This particular program is something that I think every child needs. You know, I remember back in the days in schools, we had things like guidance and counselor teachers where you can go and sit to people to talk, or they discover where you have your strong point and nurture it. You know, that's why we're having people doing very well these days in different fields of life.
It is mind-blowing. The kids are having a great time. They are learning new skills. They are learning new ideas, new ideology, new ways to use what they already have to better themselves, to be able to achieve more out of life.
Africa is affecting me personally based on like getting me to know things that like I've not known before, like getting me to know that I have to see things in another way, and I can actually get more things from my inside that I don't know, just knowing the basic things and all, but there are more in me that I have to show and to help my community.
It helps me to reconfirm the innate talent I have in me. When I came here, I wasn't really sure, but now with the program, it helped me to know what I'm really good at.
Vijona Africa, I am discovered.
Yeah, I am discovered.
So what Vijona is all about, what we're talking about, we're saying that at the young age, children have innate talents in them. Now what Vijona is trying to do is trying to expose these talents, bring them out and polish them, so that it's not compulsory that we must have all children going to become medical doctors, going to become engineers, going to become physicians. But we also have those who are talented, who can build things. We are looking at the talents inbuilt in these young children, identifying them and trying to nurture them, push them towards that talent, and letting them know that though you are good at dancing, though you are good at football, you are good at swimming, You might not be as good as you might not be that good in maths and physics. That does not mean you don't have a future.
The Nigerian situation today, it has taken our youth to areas of social media and other activities. Most of them prefer to work with their internet, play on Facebook, Twitter, and all other forms of social media, then to go back to their schools. In those days, we never knew anything like social media. We concentrated solely on our books. But if these youth can focus on creativity and productivity in their lives, I'm telling you, programs like this should be a kind of a push for them to achieve their aims.